So the first card you have your past is the Emperor. Yeah, interesting. There are a lot of contradictions here, actually. So yeah, there's a lot here. I hope I can explain this properly. But the Emperor is all about rigidity. He's about a lot of things. You know, he's into battle, he's serious, he's the boss, he's all that. But also, you know, rigidity, rules. This is the way you have to do things. You know, that's the kind of thing I'm getting from here. So, yeah, I'm getting this feeling of really wanting to wind things down. It feels like work. It doesn't have to be, but it feels like that. I think over the last year, 2 years or something, maybe, you're in a schedule, you're in this set way of doing things. You know, you were like, every Monday I do this, every Tuesday, whatever. I do this day, I do that on that day, on and on and on. And that's fine. I think it really worked for you. I'm seeing a lot of progression in something, whatever this is. And it worked really well. But now I think you're at the stage when like, oh, I just can't stand this having to do everything to the rules. It's like, oh, I've got to do this on that day. I don't want to do that. I want to change things around. I'm actually seeing a grid with really straight lines, and you're in this grid, and it was like you're kind of trapped in this grid. And yeah, you had to do certain things at certain times, certain days or something like that, and it was driving you crazy. It was fine, it worked, but now it was like, oh, I can't do this anymore. You know, everyone has to have some kind of routine, but you just want to break from that now. That's what I'm getting. Or you did then, might be now. I don't know when this is, but I know this is in the past, but I'm just getting this feeling that I want to break out of this. I want to break out of this. You want to feel free. And yeah, I think you're right. If this is you, if this is how you're feeling, you know, if you don't keep things fresh, if you don't feel fresh, it can really affect your work. It affects everything, actually. And as a Scorpio, you're dynamic. That's how you are. At your core, you're the dynamic one. And I love Scorpio because you've got that real edge to you. And I love that as an Aries. But, you know, you can be really emotional as well. You can have that emotional side of you as well. You're not afraid to show that. So anyway, you're right. You're right to do this. And you do that sometimes every now and again. You know, you like to kind of shake things up and see where they land sometimes. I like that too. So, but yes, someone doesn't like this. Someone doesn't like you doing this. Someone doesn't like the changes. I think you might actually have to talk to someone about this. If this is in your workplace, someone's not going to like this. So yeah, they might want to meet with you. I don't know if this is face to face. I think someone is going to want to meet with you. Yeah, they're going to want to talk to you about this, and they're not going to be happy. So you're going to have to face up to something or someone. Might be your boss, because you've got the Emperor here. And you need to do things your way. That's the only way things work out for you, if you do it your way. Not just in work, but in all sorts of areas of your life. You have to be leading things. That's not arrogance. You know, if you're forced into something, if you feel that kind of forced feeling, it feels really trapped. It feels like you're trapped. It's a really horrible feeling for you. And I think that's why a lot of Scorpios are self-employed. I see that a lot. Maybe you are as well, I don't know, but maybe not, because you've got this boss here. I don't know, it might not be your boss, but it's that kind of figure. Anyway, someone doesn't like the change, but you know, you'll get your way, actually. You'll get your way in the end, I think. Somehow you will do that. Even though you've got this big bossy figure here, this Emperor, you will get your way in the end. That's what I'm seeing in that card. Okay, so the next card you have your past is the Knight of Swords. Yes, determination, being forceful. I think this whole year means that to you, actually. I'm determined, I'm forceful. I'm having my way now. That's what I'm getting. I've found myself, I know who I am, I'm forceful, I'm moving forward into the new year. No one's going to stop me, no one's going to tell me what to do. That's the kind of feeling I'm getting around this. I think you might have lost yourself a bit last year, actually, especially in love. Yeah, I've seen this before in your readings. jumping into something before you're ready, just like this knight. Yes, I've seen that before. Look at how quickly this knight's riding. He's so fast. So, if you're riding along quickly, or if you're driving quickly, and if you look out the side window, which you shouldn't do, but let's say you do, you can't see what's going past. It's all a blur. It's all going past so quickly. And yeah, I think this ex that you're with, they might have been covering something up, because you weren't allowed to slow down and see the reality of something. You couldn't see what was really going past. You didn't get to see that. You just saw this blur. That's what I'm getting. And you didn't know them as well. You didn't know them. I think maybe you just got carried away, carried away in someone else's life, someone else's world. It wasn't your world. It's like you became a part of someone else's world. That's what I'm seeing. Now, I think they might have been trying to talk to you, actually. They might still be. No, I don't think they are. I think they tried to. They tried to start things up again. But yeah, what happened was they came up against an angry person, I think, and that was you. And yeah, when they kept on trying, yeah, they did. They kept on trying after that. They kept on trying. They came up against this knight, you. And I think they were surprised, because they hadn't seen that side of you before. That's what I'm seeing in the Emperor. You've got this beautiful soft side, this loving side. But if someone's dishonest, or they play around, or whatever they do, if they do something wrong, they get to see this side. And I hate using this word, but it's karma. That's the only word I can think of to describe this, karma. Because they got it back. That's what they got back from you. The thing is, you did love them. You really did. You really loved them. I'm seeing that. If you didn't truly love them, you wouldn't have been this angry. You wouldn't have been this mad at them. You wouldn't have been this forceful. You would have been indifferent. But you weren't. You were really angry. And so, yeah, if you look really closely at this horse, there's a little red heart just behind his eye. So there's love. There's love behind the anger. It's the flip side of love, anger. If someone's really angry about something love related, it's usually because there was a lot of love there. There was a lot of love that was lost, and that's what happened then. That's what happened in this card. Yeah. Okay, so so the last card you have, you passed the Ten of Wands. So yeah, obviously this is about putting the hard work in, all that, working really, really hard. And the thing is, before this ex came along, you were by yourself. You're doing everything for yourself. And after they left, it was kind of like, well, okay, back to square one, here we go again, all that kind of thing. Back to myself again, doing all the work myself. But it wasn't back to square one, actually, because you really learned from this. And you learned to be more cautious. I think next time when you're talking to someone and you're thinking about connecting with them, if you're single, obviously, this is if you're single, you'll probably be a lot more guarded, not just between you and the person you're seeing, but I think about who you tell about this potential relationship. You're not going to go, oh, look at this, I'm with someone, I'm seeing them, look at this, look at that. You're not going to take pictures and put them on social media. You're not going to do anything like that until you're 100% sure that this is the right thing. You're not going to want things to be out in the open unless you're in charge. That's what this whole past's all about now. You're in charge. That's what this year's about. You're in charge. I'm getting that everywhere. It's a big theme here in this reading so far. Yeah, you went into this past relationship a bit blind, actually. I know that's probably not a good word to use. And I'm not blaming you. Feelings are feelings. But this time, you're not going to let your feelings blind you or cage you like this man. He can't see where he's going. It's like he's in a cage. He can't see what he's getting into. But now you can. Now you can. You can see. You know what you're getting into now because you're going to be very cautious. Everything's going to be a lot slower for you now in love because you're directing things now. You're in charge. You're directing everything in your life. Really, really good. That's what's happening this year. Your whole year is going to be directed by you and only you. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so the first card you have your presence, the Two of Pentacles. Okay, if this is all resonating with you, obviously, being by yourself again after this ex came along, doing all this by yourself, it's hard. It's hard. There's no getting around that. You've got lots of plates juggling in the air like this man. You've got the Ten of Wands here as well. So it's not easy. It's not easy doing everything yourself, I know. But, it's easier doing everything yourself when you know where you are, when you're not constantly questioning things, questioning someone else, second-guessing things, wondering where they are, feeling down about yourself because you're wondering whether they actually want you or what's happening. It's much easier emotionally being by yourself, even though you've got more physical work to do. But yeah, moving forward now, I'm not going to talk about that ever again, that ex. Yeah, so I'm just looking at these coins here. And yeah, there's a frustrating conversation here. And I think this might be about this work thing with these coins. Coins, obviously, work, money, all that. Now, it looks like a negotiation, some kind of meeting. Yeah, I keep on seeing you wanting more flexibility. So this is exactly what I'm seeing in the Emperor card. So this is the situation coming up again. This is about this meeting. Someone's not happy with you wanting to be flexible. That's what I'm seeing. So if you're trying to get some kind of better deal for yourself at work or something like that, see if you can get, if you're having a meeting with someone to kind of discuss this or whatever, see if you can get someone else to sit in on this meeting or whatever this is. Because it looks like this person you're up against, they're, how do I say this? There's a bit of an ego problem around them, I think. For them, it's not about, whether they think it's a good idea or not, which is the normal way to approach this. Is this a good idea? Yes. Is it not a good idea? No. They don't think that. This is about them winning. It's about, I want to have my say. I want to be the one who decides. I'm the boss. I'm going to have my say. Even if I think it's a bad idea, I'm going to say yes because it's what I want. That's the kind of mentality they have. Look at this man's hat. It's making himself look taller. It's making him look taller than he actually is with his big, tall red hat. So this is the kind of person who wants to make themselves look bigger. They want to make themselves look important. So I think having someone else there might make them check themselves a bit or something. So you're more likely to get what you want, I think, if you've got someone else there. So think about that if that's what you're going into. And yeah, I'm just getting this one more thing, just a very small thing. Okay, I don't want to worry you. Nothing terrible is going to happen. No accidents or anything like that. Just check the tyres or the wheels on your car. Or just ask someone else to check them or something like that. There's something shiny, metal, something like that. Maybe have a look around the wheels or the tyres or the ground where the wheels are, where the tyres are, something like that. There might be something there, something shiny. I'm not seeing accidents. I'm not seeing anything terrible, so don't worry about that. It might be a bit annoying if you come across this thing, but don't worry. I don't want you to worry. Just check if you can. It might be nothing. I hope it's nothing, but just check anyway. I hope it is nothing. The next card you have your presence, the Four of Swords. Okay, yeah. I think you might have someone, more than one person actually, more than one person who's interested in you romantically. Again, this is if you're single, obviously. And you're not interested. That's the only way I could say that. You're just not interested. It's not personal. It's not about them. It's not about any of these people. It's just about how you feel about yourself and where you are right now. And the Seven of Wands can be about the same thing. This man looks as if he's beating them off, literally. I don't think you're doing that. Well, maybe you are. But you just want to be by yourself for a while and you just need that. You need to be by yourself. And I think any attention, any romantic attention right now just makes you feel like, oh, I'm just exhausted. It feels like a bombardment, like this poor man in the Seven of Wands. you're in this process of reasserting yourself again. You know, you're already an assertive person, but you know, you say what you think and all that. But I think, yeah, I've seen this before. You lost a lot of that last year because you're being led by someone else, and now you're being led by yourself. So you're just easing your way back into that again. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing now. That's all I really need to say about that. So, okay, so we'll go on with your future now. So the first card you have for your future is the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, this is why you're not interested, or it's one of the reasons why you're not interested. I think at least in the immediate future, and you will go back to love again, you will. It's in your nature. You love love, and you love being in love. So, you know, if you're single, you'll definitely find love again. I'm seeing that here. And I think it's going to be someone completely new. It's not going to be any of these people I was seeing in the Seven of Wands, because I think when someone pursues you, you're always a bit open-minded, but once you've decided, you know, no, they're not who I want, you know, that's it. There's no going back. You don't go backwards. And yeah, I think you've had a few exes that have tried to come back because they see your loving side. You know, they see that side of you. And you're so loving when you love someone. But once that's switched off, it's off. You know, there's no going back again. So yeah, the next person that comes along, they'll be totally new. They'll be totally new. But yeah, you're going to be focusing a lot more on work over the next few months, definitely, over the rest of January, and probably the most of February as well, I think. Now, with this meeting, yeah, you're going to get the result you want. You are. It's slow, it's going to take time. I'm seeing some frustration. But you've got lots and lots of different ways of doing things. You're quite clever, you're quite innovative in the way you do things. So you've got all these different ideas and ways of doing things, of getting what you want. And if one doesn't work, you know, you try the next one and the next one. I love that about your character, is you keep on trying and you try different ways. So the process is going to be slow. You know, this is the slow card, but you'll get there. And yeah, after you've done this, you're going to feel this newness, that freshness again around your work. It's going to feel fresh for you again. And the Page of Pentacles, it's all about that. It's about that new feeling, springtime, freshness, all these new flowers and all that kind of thing. So, okay, I'm going to move on to the Queen of Wands. All these cards are blending in for me. So I'm talking about them all together, obviously. So I'm going to talk about the Queen of Wands now. So with the Queen of Wands, and yeah, this is about work and career and all that as well. I'm seeing that here too. I think you're going to go into a whole new area in your work. Eventually. It's gradual. It's a gradual change. It feels like a slow shift into something new. Yeah, I'm just seeing, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this quite literally. You're listening to something and you'll hear about whatever this thing is, this subject or this thing or whatever this is. And you'll be like, oh, that's just so interesting. That's really interesting. I want to hear more of that. And that's probably going to send you down this rabbit hole of whatever this is. So it's like, you know, when you see a new YouTube video and it's really, really interesting. And, you know, you've never heard of the channel before or whatever, it just pops up in front of you. And then you start watching all these different things they've done and then they become your new favourite thing to watch. So that's what's going to happen with this. And it's going to lead you into this new business or this career or whatever this is. Very gradual process, gradual, slow build-up of interest. And yeah, I think all this year you'll probably be building up your knowledge about this. And when you're ready, you're going to take this leap into doing this thing. Maybe you'll have to study, I don't know, but it's a really exciting feeling. I'm getting a really exciting feeling around this. And I don't think you've been as excited about your work until you will be at this time. Really, really, really exciting. Brand new. It feels really fresh. And this is what you wanted. This is what you're wishing for. You wanted a shake-up, but I don't think you expected this. But it's really positive. Really, really, really good.